Hey everyone, Corrie here, coming in to do the energy update. This one is for the new moon in Aquarius. This is July the 29th, and you will have two videos that will appear back to back on YouTube right now because of the February energy update as well. So this is moving into this new year. It's also a new year. Into the new moon is also the Chinese New Year as well. And this is the year of the snake. And so we're just moving into the year of the wood snake. And you can go check out Chinese astrology, go look at the Lunar New Year and look at all the things that go look at your animal sign to see how you are affected this year by this year of the snake. And so the year of the snake can really truly bring us to new levels. So this new moon is a new level of ascension. It is about intentions. And I did speak about it in the February energy update as well. And I spoke about pure intentions versus our ego's desire to create those intentions. And pure intentions don't mean that we sit back and we be a wallflower. It just means that it is coming from the purest of places within our hearts and aligns us to our true calling, our true destiny, our true soul purpose here on earth. And the more that we align to our soul's destiny and to our soul's truth, is that the more we start to walk in our path and answer our own call. And so it's so easy to get lost in some of the energy that is out there right now. And one big thing that really truly came up for me was I was scrolling and listening, and I just seen like this pointing of fingers. It's like, if you're not doing nothing right now, you know, if you're a light worker, if you're a healer, if you're a psychic medium, if you're a mystic and you're not doing nothing about what is happening right now, then, you know, you're not true and you're not this and you're not that. And I'm like, that's answering the call of the collective. And I don't work for the collective consciousness. And this is the key element of really truly understanding ourselves, is that we are here to work allow that power and light to work through us and for our highest good. But if I answer the call of the collective consciousness, you'd be spinning into more of what we don't need and less of what we want. And that's not true. That's not our truth of our light. And our truest expression of our light is to allow the light to move us and work through us, and knowing when and how to communicate, and not because we are being shamed. And I'm like, I spend a lifetime overcoming, reacting and responding by being shamed and feeling, allowing my emotions take me to the place of feeling like I had to jump into something, or I had to say something, or I had to be this, or I had to be that. I had to please these people. And it would be like, oh my God, you know, they're in such a bad state right now. They need you. And I'm like, no, it's not me they need, because there's a million like me. It's not me they need. It is them they need. It is the light they need. It is the love they need. And so that fight or flight and that type of reacting or responding doesn't really, it's not serving the highest good. It is not serving the light. It is serving the collective consciousness. And so nothing wrong with being there for the collective consciousness. Nothing wrong with taking a stand when we feel it. But do not use the fact of that we are gifted, or that we have the light, or that we are light workers, or that we're healers, or whatever it is, as a way to shame people into going against what they are feeling. It is not about being a chicken. It is not about being afraid of what's out there. It's about waiting and responding from the center. And when we respond from the center core and from that core element of ourselves, that's when we show up at the right time for all the right reasons, and not to spread more chaos, more hurt, more drama, more of anything, but to be more love and to be more light in this world. And so if you were to look at Mother Nature, so if you're feeling this energy, if you're feeling like you're feeling pressured to kind of pick sides, to get in this bandwagon and that bandwagon, it's all in the February's energy update. Is sometimes it's really good to sit and wait and not to follow the crowd, right? Not to get lost in the crowd. Wait for everything to clear so that you can have a clear vision, a clear truth, and a clear knowing. And until you personally have that, then you don't have to jump into action or jump into anything that does not align to your truth. Because this is truly a time of where it's so easy to get lost and to get lost in all that is happening. And when all that appears one way may not be all that's unfolding. And so when things are happening and we respond instantly and we jump in, is that we're not seeing there's something else here. What else is happening here? What else is moving us here? What else is going on? There's something else that's happening. And I had a vision that came through, and I'm not in the US, I'm actually in Canada. And it was just about, I read a family member's post, and in the post, it was something about, this is happening to us, and this is what's happening because of this. And I'm like, this is distracting us from seeing that on the other side is that on our side, our people that are supposed to have our back could lessen what they're doing. And so, tariffs, taxes, those type of things. And I'm like, so to counteract what's happening over here, how about we look at why our taxes are not being lowered? Why we're not down in the taxes on this end so that it will balance out what is over here that's not in our control right now. What's in our control. And so this is where in energy, it's like when you can look at it with different perspectives and you just don't focus on the anger and the problem, but you focus on how there could be a solution and who could make that solution happen, and questioning, why are they not? Why not? Right? And so in our lives and through this pure energy and this beautiful shift that's happening is that sometimes when we look at our lives and we look at the people in our lives and we look at the roles that they play and that they can be making changes in their lives and they're not making changes, but you're carrying the weight of the pain story, of the hurt story, of worrying about them and about them making changes, and instead of questioning what issue they're in or what that problem is your solution is to say, they can do this. Why are they not? Why are they not? If we all have the capability, if we all have the knowing, why are they not? And it's not a judgment. And you may get an answer that just says, well, because they're hurting or because of this. And you know where to put the focus. And it's not on trying to fix the problem. It's trying to be maybe the support. And sometimes you can't keep being the support to something that needs to fall and collapse and fall apart. Because if something is kind of breaking everything apart and nothing is working, there has to be something that brings about solutions. So this new moon energy, this lunar year with this snake energy is bringing us into the cosmos. It's bringing us into the world out there, but it's also bringing us down to earth. So there's a real humbling in this moon. There's a real humbling in this energy. And this is a real humbling time that we're coming into, but we're also coming into a real big spiritual time and a real big connection. And so there is a big spiritual element to this. And you may be seeing, feeling, sensing the energy of the spirits moving through us. And this is our own spirit. And so our own spirit, our own soul is recognizing that this is what we came for. We're getting ready to go to work at something like, now this is what I came for. I came for this. I came for this journey, and feeling this rising up and this rising up of this energy that just says, I came to be a part of all of this. And I believe that a lot of kind of what gets the, that smoke and mirrors view is that we get sold so often that we're moving into this, you're moving into this time of euphoria and this time of where everything is going to be all work together, and we're all going to be this and we're all going to be that. And it's not really a truth, is that all things will still always exist. But when we ourselves learn to connect to spirit, to be a part of our own spiritual evolution, is that we're a part of something that we're going to be able to celebrate within ourselves. We came here to bring love to earth. We came here to bring more love and light to earth. And so being a part of that is also having great compassion for whatever experience somebody else is in, because it's their experience. And they really are not here to jump ship into your experience. So if you're hoping for someone to do something different or to live differently or to make different choices, you want them to be a part of your experience. You want them to make your experience and your life better or easier or whatever that may be. But is that their journey at this very moment? Or are they here to go through their experience full circle? Are they here to rise and fall and to kind of find the balance of find the power to bring themselves back up and to restore something within themselves, within the world or the energy of where they reside or where they live within themselves, and to rise it up. So when we look at partnerships in our lives, you look at people in your life and you look at those connections, is that, people are not here to become the person that you need them to be or want them to be to make your life easy and happy. They're here to answer their call. They're here to do what they came to do. And their soul destiny and their soul journey is at work the same way that ours is. And so there is a revolution that is happening. There's a movement that's taking place. And that movement that's taking place is the rise of spirit. It is the rise of the soul's purpose, the soul's desire to why we are here and why we're here during this time. And that's why it is so important to be very aware of those intentions. Because if you set a wish that you wish for someone's life to be a specific way, or that you wish for things to be a specific way, and that's all you can wish for, is because you want it to be the specific way because you don't like, or you don't like how you feel in that experiences, you're here to move beyond that experience. But that wish may be something that is an interruption and an interference. And so if we add the element of hope in, and we add in the element of, whatever is of our highest good, whatever moves us through this time and through this energy. But there's also this element that just speaks about being done. And more than existing, the whole paragraph that follows, or the whole mantra of my more than existing, is I am done. I'm done. And it was, I am done. I am done. I am no longer just existing. I am here to more than exist. And whatever the cost, I will not just live in this life. And so, yes, it's come at great cost. And so to more than just exist is that we have to also be able to find our way to exist in the times that we are presented around us with, and know that we are still greater than that time, greater than that energy, that we are more than that. And that when we know or feel that call, we don't need to shame anyone else to walk it with us. We have to know that we are walking it because because we are being called into it. There's something that's calling us into it. And there's a big difference. And so we don't need any more of fight or flight or freeze or fawn. We need more love and more hope. And so there is a movement that is taking place that may be hard to see, but it is there, and it's not one that is being generated by hate. It is one that is being guided and facilitated by love. And so this new moon is guiding us through with love. And there is a level of protection and protection that is surrounded in this new moon energy. And I don't know how to explain it other than it feels as if there is a cloak, and you feel this cloak and feel this energy coming down. And so the way that we cultivate compassion for others is to be able to have compassion for ourselves and for what we are feeling, what we are experiencing, that there is some truth out there. There's half truths. There is realities, and we're facing those realities. But it doesn't mean that we have hit, in some areas, in some circumstances, is if doomsday hasn't hit, why are we announcing doomsday? Right? If our relationships are not over, why are you walking around telling people, say that you're over it? I'm over it. I'm over this relationship. I'm over this person. But yet inside you're yearning for more love and a healthier relationship with the person that your ego, that your shadow is running around announcing, I'm done. I'm done. Right? And so I'm so over it. I'm so done. That is our shadow walking ahead of our light, but presenting itself as the shadow because it's false confidence. It is not our truth. It is not our real essence. And over here, we have the light that's going, they'll get tired of that one. That one will get exhausting, and the shadow's going to get what it wants. It's going to get exactly what it wants. You want something to be over, it will be over, right? If you want something to be done because you're telling everyone else, but you've already announced it out. And so be very aware, be very consciously aware of the language and of the shadow elements of ourselves that appears when we have fear energy, or when we have doubt, when we feel vulnerable, because when we feel vulnerable, it's so easy to call forward the shadow and the shadow's confidence to walk the journey for us. But the spirit doesn't need the shadow to walk the journey. The spirit, our divine essence within ourselves, needs us to trust our divine expression so that the light can walk ahead, the shadow can walk integrated with, but slightly behind, and can learn and lean into the love, knowing that it doesn't have to be activated again. It doesn't have to come out in fight or flight. It's moving forward with faith. And it is faith that moves us. It is that essence of love that moves us. And there is this connection to the divine expression that the farther away we get from the divine, the more lost we get in the shadow and into the darkness that we believe to be light, because we meet a lot of familiar energy over there. We meet our comforts over there. We meet our validations to what we want to believe over there. We meet all of that over there. But when we get into this, when we allow the divine to walk forward with divine confidence, divine courage, divine strength, is that it can look around and just say, I don't see many, but I know this is the way because there's a light, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And there is always that light. And so there's always a light at the end of the tunnel that takes us into a new transition and a new transformation. And we are being moved through all of this energy because we are in such a big time of transformation. And this is where we are transforming from one journey into the next journey. And we're walking through those portals. We're walking through those gates. We're walking through change. And at the gate and the door of every choice of that change, I always say that's where I met the Lucifer energy. I don't mean a person, I mean an energy. And it's like, and it said, I am masked. I am the mask. I am the mask. And then my words are here to tempt and soothe you, to see if you would be tempted to travel this path. And it was just like, well, no, I can see who you are. I can see what you are. And I can see what's happening here. And I'd rather not be tempted, and I'd rather not be shamed or guilted. I'd rather not walk in doubt. I'd rather walk in faith. And less people may have gone through that door, but I'm going to choose that door because I see what's happening here. And when you can see that within yourself, and you know that we all have this, this challenge that we meet within ourselves or within the energy outside of ourselves, is we all have those choices. And so I'm not saying we haven't made the choices to let our shadow essence lead our lives, but first you have to recognize your shadow as your shadow. And so this moon energy and where we're coming through is it's the reflection that is reflecting back the shadow, and it gets real murky, and it gets real cloudy, and it gets really hard to see truth. It gets really hard to see self. It gets really hard to hold on to hope and faith, and it gets very easy to step into fear, to get lost, because everything is triggering and everything is giving validation to why everything is so not there, why there's nothing left good and there's no hope left and everything is doomsday and everything is this and everything is failing, because all the proof is in the pudding in the land of the shadow, in the land of the imitation. But there's still light, there's still love, and there's still hope. And this is where spirit resides. This is where true spirit, this is where the true essence. And so the casting of the shadow that appears as a spirit is imitation. And it's easy to be fooled by the casting of the shadows that we see everywhere. But once you know this within yourself, when you know the divine, and you get to know the divine, and you know the divine on such a level that you don't question or deny the divine, is that you find that ability to go into this place of silence and listen. And when we listen from a place that requires us to know that there's no real words being spoken, but yet there's a language that is appearing, and it is flowing through us, and it is providing us with every bit of divine strength, divine courage, divine perseverance, divine faith, divine love, divine truths, and all that is of the highest quality, the highest expression, the highest vibrating energy, because it's coming from authenticity and original. And it has this authenticity that just guides us to follow our authenticity within ourselves. And that's where our purity exists. So the card that I pulled was a life of more than existing requires you to take steps into looking with compassion at yourself. One of those steps is towards acceptance, accepting yourself. To achieve acceptance, you must first come to terms with the person you see before you. Don't wait for validation from friends, family, or colleagues. Take a good look. That one looking back has gotten you through some tough shit. How much more does he have to do to prove herself or himself? And that's the card. And I'll hold it up. It's hard to see, I know. And that's the card from the Want to Know a Secret to a life of more than existing. And this is our new moon energy update. And it just follows through. You can go listen to the February as well. I don't know where that all just came from. Thank you, Divine. Thank you, God, for this message, for whatever that is for you, Source Creator. Thank you. And so I send you so much love. Happy new moon and lunar energy. And let love sit in your heart today, and allow self-love to bring you to a place of compassion and self-realization and self-care. Bye-bye.